Welcome to this edition of Along the Rock, brought to you by the Radar Free Press. I'm your host, Nathan Stahr, and with me today I have Carol Siefken and Rita Smith. Both of you are with the Community Christmas for Children. Thank you for both for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Yes.
All right, and so can you tell us a little bit about the organization, the Christmas for Children?
Well, the organization was created by Northwestern Steel and Wire, and it's about 40 years old. And what we did at the time, it started out in computer finance, where we just had an idea that for Christmas we would get food together. Well, the next thing you know, everyone in the world was bringing us food, and we had 3-4 cars full of food, and we got a name, and we took it to them, and it was a sad situation, but so happy to see us and everything. So we just decided that there was a need out there, that we needed to do something. So while it took us a year to create, we created the Community Christmas for Children. And by doing that, we had the mill behind us because we were mill related. And we would have all kinds of raffles and everything because we had men everywhere. We would sell poinsettias. We would do everything under the sun. And it got so that when we started out 40-some years ago, every child got $50 worth of new clothing and toys, and then they got food. And at the time, we bought the food. But then later years, when the mill went down, we went to the Sauk Valley Food Bank. And that became cheaper for us. We could give them 3 boxes of cereal instead of 1. Well, going back to when the mill or the Community Christmas was created, we decided, okay, we're going to do all the raffles and make all the money, and how are we going to handle this? So we decided we would go to the nurse. We would not have a neighbor come to us and say someone needed help or whatever. We would go to the nurse of the schools, and she would be aware of who might need help. And so that's what we did. And then we thought, okay, we have another problem. Now this little committee can't buy all these gifts for all these families or anything. So we decided we would ask for Santas to help us, which would be you, Nathan, or Rita, or whoever. And what these Santas did is the nurses, we had a form, and the nurses would send us a name and have how many other children are in the family too, because we wanted one don't get a gift and the others, don't have anything, and one has too much. And so the Santas get the card, they call the family and say, would you like some help? And then they get the correct sizes for everything. And they get what the children want. Our goal was to give them a whole outfit, like a shirt and pants. And then if they wanted a toy, because Christmas, I don't care what age we are, we all like toys or something personal for us.
Yes,
So that's what we did. And it just went over wonderful. Well, unfortunately, the mill went down. So then the committee decided, what are we going to do? We were all so compassionate about it and had been so involved in it, we couldn't let it die. So then we went to National and made a presentation there, and they bought into it, and so they were our backer. Now, I want to explain what a backer does. We never ask the backer for money, but we have to mail out things and Xerox things, and so that's how a backer helps us, by allowing us to use their paper and different things like that, and stamps. That's a big thing. Mailing is a big thing. And then, unfortunately, we had another problem, and then we made a presentation to CGH. And CGH was kind enough to believe in the program, and after quite a few years, then they move on to something else, which is totally fine. Yeah. There are so many things that need help. And we went to Sterling Fed. And Sterling Fed is still our backer, and they are very kind to us. And, you don't realize until you get into a situation like this, and been in it for as many years as I've been in, what children nowadays have to go through. I've had so many situations that, and some will stay with me until the day I die.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
You have places you go to, and actually this happened in our 2 towns, dirt floor. It was snow on the ground, and it was a family of 3, and she asked for winter stuff because they didn't have heat where they lived. And here come a little boy with no shoes on, running out through the snow, so excited. And their refrigerator was a box outside the door.
Oh, wow.
And inside they had a couch with no cushions and 1 chair. And we took the gifts in and everything. And she was very embarrassed. And she asked where the coats were, if she could open them and put them on the children. So when I left, I figured that the children, that's how they kept warm during the day. And there are so many things out there. But you know, most children are so happy anyway. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just to see these kids is unbelievable. So that's what we've been doing all these years with the help of Sterling Fed and all of the businesses that unfortunately went down, and all our Santas. We can't say enough about our Santas because they talk to the people, and they hear the people, and they deliver. The only thing we ask of them is they pay for the wrapping that wraps the gifts, and then they deliver on a certain day. And they're wonderful, totally wonderful. When I was a buyer, a Santa Claus, if I didn't know, because all the children in my family are so old, you know, so I didn't know what a young kid of 6 or 8 would use. So I'd get a little kid in the toy aisle running around asking him if he'd help me find the toys.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, and they loved it.
Yeah.
They loved it, honest. And we've had people who drew, and they wanted drawing things. We had one young girl that wanted makeup. And you can get a lot of makeup, but now, unfortunately, it costs a lot more to do stuff. So over the years, we have had to increase our budget. And that's one of the reasons why we're here today, is that $50 doesn't go far anymore. So we have increased it to $150, is that correct?
So 125 or 150, yeah.
Yeah,
We
okay.
keep, every year we increase it.
Every year
accordingly.
we increase it.
And
And,
that's the total that you're collecting to
well, then we still got the
for
food.
gifts for.
Yes.
And that's per
Yeah,
child.
Yeah, that's per
Per
child.
child,
That's
yeah.
per child. Then we got the food on top of that. We don't take that original money away.
Okay.
So you can see if we have, I think last year we had 80 families or something like that. You can see that this is a $30,000, $40,000 program a year.
Oh, yeah.
And it's getting harder and harder to do that.
We just formed a fundraising committee. We've never had that before. We recognize that all the people that have supported us through the years might not be able to keep doing it. So we've got a new committee. We're going to do a letter campaign later on in the year to the businesses.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if you mentioned, we are a 501c3.
No, I didn't mention that.
And I don't know,
Thank
did you do that right away
Yes,
when you
yes.
first? Yeah.
That's the only way the mill would allow us to do it, was to be a 501c3.
That was a good idea.
Yes, it
Yes.
was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And, but it's a passion of mine. I'm not quite as involved as I used to be. As you can tell, I'm a little older, but I will be involved until the day that I leave, because it is the wonderful thing to do. And we always know that we get the children that need help. And now with all the new laws and everything, we are positive because we asked them if they would allow us to give them some Christmas gifts. And every year we have maybe one family that will say, no, I think we're fine, and that's wonderful. And we don't really have trouble with Santas, because normally all the people like Sterling Fed, probably everybody that works there is a Santa.
There's quite a few that do. Yes, they
That's
do.
just how it works,
Oh, yeah.
you know. And you get so caught up in it, you know what I mean? And you get excited about it. And it just puts things in perspective when you deliver. I'm telling you, we're so busy with our own lives that if you can help a child, even by picking out a toy, where Nathan, you might have given me $1 to buy that toy, it just makes you feel good. You're helping somebody and maybe keeping him on the right track. That's why I do it. You know, I grew up in a family of 10, and we had everything that counted except lots of money. You know what I mean? Parents that love you, but nowadays the world is different. There's more pressure on parents, and both parents have to work sometimes, and life happens, and unfortunately, sometimes it's not good. And so when you get involved with Community Christmas for Kids, it kind of gives you that spurt for the next year to move on and continue.
Well, and I think to bring those bright moments to people's lives.
Yes.
Not only does it, make those that are giving those moments to those people, but to receive those moments.
Yes.
Kind of, at least for, that little bit of time, it kind of takes away the hardships that they're struggling with.
Yeah, it
And
does.
we'll have some of the buyers say, they've got a new TV or they got a new car, why are we doing this? And I said, you don't know their circumstances. That father could have just lost his job, or there could be an illness you don't know about. So never judge anybody when you're trying to help
And you
them.
don't know because maybe their family has pitched in and helped.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We never know the circumstances. We're there for the children, and we were given those names for a reason.
Yeah.
We were given those names by credible people, and but it's a wonderful organization, and all I can say is, if you got an extra $1 or extra can of green beans, find Rita or find me, and whatever. You know what I mean? Because it all works. And with all of us working together, we hope we don't miss any children at Christmas time, because there's other organizations out there helping too. But we're proud of ours because we give food and gifts. And not that other organizations don't do that, but we've learned over the years what we need to do and the changes we need to make. And most stores, grocery stores, now that the food bank is having a hard time getting basic food in, we like cereals and we like macaroni and cheese and green beans and things. And they're having a hard time getting what I call the basic foods in. And so we've had in the last couple of years to go to grocery stores. And so it's a little bit more expensive and we don't get as much food. But we allow them to pick out what they need. In other words, if they just want to eat bologna, fine. We don't say they got to have a ham or anything like that. It's whatever. But we're trying so we can do better on the food. But for Christmas, I think it's unanimous. We all feel that a happy child is what we all want.
Well, in that time of year, that's definitely where you want that bright light in those children's eyes.
Yes.
It's a magical time of year.
Yes,
so.
it is.
And I know a lot of the buyers put in their own money also.
Yes, they do.
And they get X number of dollars per child, and then they spend extra. Or I know myself and a couple others, we go to Kohl's, we get our cold cash, and then we go back and we spend that on the kids also. So you can really stretch, because we don't pay sales tax either with the 501c3, so that saves you 10% almost. Yeah.
And one year we had a young boy, and he was from Sterling High School, and we take the high school because that's very important to give them hope too. And he wanted a Nike pair of tennis shoes. Well, that was at the time we were $50.
Yeah.
And we couldn't buy them.
I was going to say, Nike shoes are not $50.
We couldn't buy them. So I went to the Penny's manager and told him the situation. And he gave me the Nike shoes to fit him. It was a size 13.
That tall boy.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was one of the situations where you didn't go through the family. We had to go through a policeman to take it to the child. And it was my understanding that he was so happy. It was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the policeman told us. So, you know, everybody works with you. You just got to ask them.
So anyone who's interested in either helping out and, you know, the business aspect, being a sponsor, or even being a Santa, or even, you know, donating some money, what is the best way to get a hold of
contact us.
You can call me because I'm at the stage of my life where I'm a homebody now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and if I'm not available to do it, we'll find somebody that is, or answer the question or whatever. And even Rita, whether she's home or not, if somebody knows Rita and wants to give us $1, Rita will take it. Most of us are retired, so there's a couple that aren't, and here and there and everywhere, but we still live here, and we still have a home address, and if you're really serious, you can find us.
Oh, yeah. Carol, Rita, thank you for coming in and talking to us about this.
Thank you.
I hope that we can get the word out there a little bit more and get a little more support from the community, whether it's business or the community members. So good luck to you this year.
Well, thank
Thank
you. We think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
And as I said, we just handle what comes in and do what we can and hope for the best.
Oh, definitely.
And thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We enjoyed it.
All right. And I'd like to thank not only our crew behind the cameras, but also our viewers. Don't forget that the Radar Free Press is free. So we do rely on your likes, comments, and shares, and also subscriptions. So if you'd like to see more videos like this, check us out at theradar.online.